board, and Dr. Garrison, Bruce Paterson, Garwood, New Jersey. First, to the reservoir, I mean, I do look forward to the rejuvenation of the reservoir, and I hope it actually is for a passive park activity, not an active park activity. So, you're also introducing an ordinance 832, 2022 for $35 million. We had the clerk read the wording. It was a lot of words that really said nothing, but I mean, could you just give me an overview of what that ordinance is about so we can speak on it next time when it's here for approval? General comments. I went to a UCIA meeting, and I asked about the status of the projects, you know, that the UCIA is doing. And the director actually gave a rundown of 4 projects. I was hoping that the director would talk about the Union County government complex, because I figured that was what the Improvement Authority is handling, yet I didn't hear any comment about that. So my question to the county is, what happened to the Union County government complex that was sued and is being appealed, and also now it's off the radar of the Improvement Authority? So that's really strange. Also, from what I understand, I guess the solar program pretty much went bust that the county had, and at the Improvement Authority meeting, you know, talked about refunding and GATs and things like that. And I'm just wondering, is the guarantee that the county gave, so I guess the guarantee is now going to be picking up the cost, and I'm just wondering how much are the taxpayers on the hook for this? Additionally, I'll tell you, at that meeting, it was only about 15 minutes long, which was amazing, because nobody's there. I don't even know if we have an Improvement Authority anymore. I talked to Attorney Mincello. I questioned him. He says that, yes, the county can be funding it, and also it can be at a county venue, a county building, and yet there is no county employees. I mean, there is no improvement employees. So my question is, it's nothing but county. So, I mean, there is no Improvement Authority to me. I mean, somebody's going to have to convince me. You know, they gutted it. And the only person left is the director, and she actually works for the county. So I'm going to really wonder about this Improvement Authority moving forward and the disaster that's happening. Attorney Mincello, I guess he's covering his buns, you know, saying that, oh, yeah, it is an Improvement Authority, but I guess he's on the gravy train, so he's not going to say otherwise. And it was at the end when somebody online, one of the Board of Trustees, said, oh yeah, the director is doing great, streamlined and efficient, the UCIA. I mean, but you know, right now it's bringing down lawsuits. There's nobody there. I don't know who this board member was, but I'll tell you, he should have his head checked, I guess. I don't know, quality is strange. Also, the county budget hearings. I went to the county budget hearings, as you know, and thank you very much for discussing it. The star of the budget hearings, you know, and I've mentioned this before as I've gone to so many other budget hearings for about 10, 15 years, but the star was Commissioner Baker. He was a guy, he asked a lot of questions. It was really great, and to tell you the truth, most of them were financial questions. For some reason, I mean, we're talking about a $500 million budget. Nobody asked any financial questions. Mr. Baker, thank you very much for doing that. Previously, there was another counselor, a commissioner, that did ask financial questions a different year, and I said, you know what, they're probably going to tell you don't ask financial questions anymore, so they're probably going to do the same thing for you, and you know, next year, I don't know what to say. The reference to CARES Act monies, looking at the rundown of what the expenditures are, there's a company called MV Strategies, LLC. It was formed April 2020. And that company actually forwarded to each of the commissioners $83,000 each, totaling $750,000 using the federal CARES Act funding. This is meanwhile, 150,000 people from the budget hearing were unemployed in the county, and each commissioner got $83,000. The question is, I mean, how come you didn't gladly say, hey, I'm getting $83,000 each out of the CARES Act money? We were awful quiet. It had to be researched and analyzed to find this out. Who is MV Strategies?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Patterson. Your time
Thank
is
you
up.
very much. I'd like the answers.
Okay, thank you. Let me just say, with regard to the ordinance 837-2022, we're going to hold off on responding to that. There's a public hearing at our next meeting. The other questions that you had, one was regarding the UCIA, and the last question about some money that we certainly have not received. The county manager will respond. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I wasn't sure around an IA meeting, but as for the building, it is in court, as I'm sure the constituent is aware. And as for this $83,000, I'm not sure, but no commissioner got $83,000 each to spend. MV Strategies was part of our COVID response team. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public?